Right. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And everyone, my name is Siti Fatima Azara, an English literature major from Bina Dharma University. I'm here to discuss about Zunia Izanadipa's thesis, an analysis of hegemony in the novel Mockingjay by Susan Collins. This thesis dives into the power dynamic of Mockingjay, revealing a rich tapestry of societal struggles. Why is this topic important? Mockingjay isn't just a story, it's a reflection of real world power structures. Today, we'll build on Zunia's insight, exploration of hegemony and its implication. Social culture, stemming from rituals and intellect among dominant groups, shapes behavior and norms, often leading to conflicts, notably between upper and lower classes. Antonio Gramsci's hegemony theory, rooted in historical class system, emphasized consensus over coercion in societal control. Susan Collins' Mockingjay mirrors real-world events, exploring transformation rebellion, akin to Indonesia's 1998 New Order era's end. Zunia Izanadipa's study delves into Mockingjay, examining Gramsci's levels to understand how rebels construct a consensus-based governance system. Next, I will provide two hypotheses framework for exploring rebellion dynamics and hegemonic evolution in Mockingjay based on the study. The first hypothesis is that in Mockingjay, Susan Collins portrays the rebellion as primarily driven political and economic factors, including oppression, inequality, and capital's abuse of power. The government responds with coercive measures to suppress dissent and maintain control. And the second hypothesis is that the process of establishing hegemony in Mockingjay involves rebels strategically creating a new government system. This includes developing integral hegemony with mass affiliation, moments of potential conflict reflecting decadent hegemony, and an ultimate aim to establish a consensus-based power structure origin to the capital's authoritarian rule. Now that we've outlined our hypothesis, let's distill our focus into two specific research questions from the thesis. First one, what are the causes of the rebellion and how does the government respond to the rebellion? And how did the rebels establish hegemony as a form of government in Susan Collins' novel Mockingjay? With our research question in place, let's now outline our objectives. First is to present causes of the government's response in Susan Collins' Mockingjay, uncovering reasons behind the rebellion and examining the government's reaction, and to detail the process of establishing hegemony as a new government system in Mockingjay, analyzing the stages and levels of hegemony achieved. Though it's important to recognize that every study carries inherent limitation, in which I found three limitations in the study. That is, the limited scope of analysis, focusing primarily may restrict the applicability of findings to other literary works or real-world situations. Then, the one-track theoretical lens, relying heavily on Gramsci's hegemony theory, might not encompass all aspects of power dynamics, and other sociological perspectives could offer additional insights. And lastly, various literary interpretation. Literary works often allow for multiple interpretation. The author's interpretation of the causes and consequences of rebellion, as well as the may differ from alternative perspectives. Now that we've discussed the limits that come with the study, let's turn our attention to the importance that highlight the significance of our study. Some of it are the theoretical contribution. It applies Gramsci's hegemony theory to analyze social conflicts in literature, showcasing interdisciplinary relevance. Then, the relevance to social life. It connects literature with societal issues, bridging the gap between fiction and reality. Then, the theme of power transformation. It explores power transformation from oppression to consensus, aligning with contemporary socio-political discussion. To add, its influence on reader. The research aimed to positively impact readers by conveying valuable insights about social life through Mockingjay. And last, its real-world implication. By drawing parallels between the fictional rebellion in novels and historical events, for example, Indonesia's power conflict, there is real-world implication, illustrating the dynamic relationship between literature and societal change. Zunia skillfully incorporates Antonio Gramsci's hegemony theory into her analysis, offering a robust framework for exploring power dynamics, resistance, and societal transformation transformation within the narrative. She extends Gramsci's idea beyond class struggle, envisioning classless society free from exploitation. Gramsci's three levels of hegemony: minimum hegemony, where there's logical unity with disharmony among members, decadent hegemony, where there's potential conflict within a group seeking revolution, and total hegemony, where there's complete cohesiveness among members without contradiction, are nicely outlined, highlighting ideological unity, potential conflicts, and complete cohesiveness within social groups. Some related studies that the author also used for the research are totalitarianism versus democracy in the Hunger Games trilogy by Rebellion Against the Unjust Authority in Mockingjay by Rika Cahyaningrum, and Cultural Hegemony in Novel Merpati Kembar di Lombok by Muhammad Habibur Rahman. In this thesis, the writer used the qualitative method of data collection. The writer first select important data from narration and dialogue in the novel Mockingjay, and then read articles and journals related to the hegemony and rebellion for a deeper understanding. As for the data analysis technique, use the descriptive data analysis technique. The writer first analyzed the narration and dialogues indicating causes of rebellion. Then, she analyzed the narration and dialogues indicating the establishment of hegemony. After that, the writer classifies the narration and dialogues based on the level of hegemony, and last, she makes conclusions about the establishment of hegemony as a new government system in Mockingjay, categorized as minimum, decadent, or total hegemony. After that, I will outline the findings in the thesis based on the research of the first one is the cost of rebellion movement. In the novel Mockingjay, the rebellion is triggered by the capital's oppressive actions. The three key events include first one, the capital destroyal of District 12. The rebellion is sparked by the capital's brutal response to Katniss Devine's in the Quarter Quell, resulting in the destruction of District 12. Then, the capital assault of District 8. The capital ruthless attack on District 8 broadcasted to instill fear further fueled the rebellion, the resolve of the rebel troops. And lastly, the capital assault of District 13. District 13 became a prime target for the capital's retaliation, leading to a strategic shift in the rebel forces' approach. Furthermore, is the process of creating hegemony in Mockingjay, where the writer concludes that the rebellion seeks to replace President Snow's regime with a hegemony-based government. The novel illustrates three levels of creating hegemony in that. First one is the minimum hegemony, the initial struggle for unity and rebels, exemplified by Katniss questioning her role and the difficulty of trust and common purpose. Then, the decadent hegemony, progressing rebellion exposes internal conflicts, especially between Katniss and President Coin, revealing differing motives and visions for post-rebellion Panem. And lastly, the total hegemony, achieved after the deaths of President Coin and Snow. The new government led by Commander Pyler reflects consensus-based leadership and a shared vision for a just and in marking the pinnacle of hegemony where contradictions are resolved. The author interpreted that in Mockingjay, the theme of hegemony emerged as a lower-class district rebel against President Snow's oppressive rule. Led by figures like Katniss Everdeen and President Coin, the uprising, inspired by Gramsci's idea of hegemony, faces internal conflict and District 2 criticism. Despite challenges, a pivotal election elevates Commander Paler in Gramsci's War of Position. The epilogue reveals a transformed Panem, led by Paler, restoring individual freedom to choose districts, a symbol of advanced hegemony fulfilling individual desires. The rebellion against the capital by the district originated from discontent with the oppressive capital government, fueled by its brutal actions like destroying District 12 and attacking District 8. This upheaval gave rise to a new government system termed progressing through the three stages: initial conflict between Katniss and President Point in minimum hegemony, hidden conflicts during the rebellion in decadent hegemony, and ultimately achieving the goal of establishing a new government system in total hegemony. Then, the writer encouraged readers to delve into hegemony theory for a crucial understanding of government dynamics. Familiarity with this theory empowers individuals in a community to actively matters, navigate governance, and contribute meaningfully by grasping power dynamics and societal influence. Readers can enhance their literary studies and become informed, empowered participants in shaping a socially conscious society. In wrapping up our discussion on Zunia Idanadipa's insightful analysis of Mockingjay, we have delved into the tapestry of hegemony, rebellion, and societal transformation. As we step out of the fictional world created by Suzanne Collins, let's carry with us the lessons and reflections that this exploration has offered. Thank you for your attention. This is Siti Fatima Azara. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.